Hello, hi, and welcome to this brief introduction. If you're watching this, you've probably just paid us some money for access to the GCSE Astronomy. My name's Alistair Leith. I'm the Managing Director, CEO of the Online Astronomy Society Academy, and my role here is generally making sure you get into the course and to pick up any technical problems that you might have. So if you've got any problems logging in, any problems with access to the material or anything like that, I'm your man. If you haven't heard from your tutor for a while, or course advisors, we call them, again, have a word with me and I will sort that out. What this is about today is I've had some feedback that's told me, Al, great material, we love it, and thank you for what you do. You're welcome. But what do I do? How do I get started? Reasonable question. So you've paid your money, and what's happened is you've had a letter from us that stated, hello, welcome. This is your username, this is your password, this is the link to how to get in, that's your course advisor, and these are your terms and conditions. Okay, great. What else? Well, hopefully this video will explain. So we give you onlineastronomycourses.co.uk as the link, and you can get to that by typing it in at the top in the address bar there, or by clicking the button on the page. That's going to take me straight there because I've kind of logged in earlier. So I'm going to log out and start from the beginning for you. So this is the login in page that you will see. The page you'll see when I log in a bit different to yours, I think, because I'm an admin. Yours will be a basic user. But by and large, what you will see when you go in are thumbnails for each of the courses that you can log in. So one for the new students, one for the GCSE, and so on. So what you will get will be this window. This is your signing in form. And what you'll do is you'll put in here your username. Your username is always going to be first name underscore last name, all in lower casing. That is how it is. So if you've gone on ahead and created your own account and I've battered it back with your username in that format, please don't be offended. I do it that way so I know who is on the VLE. Let me please add this as well. There is sometimes a bit of a delay between your payment and actually getting online. That's because I've got to add you. I add everybody on here because I know then who you are. I know whoever username is, and there's no danger of anybody putting on any fictional names. I know who everybody is. That's why the username is as it is, and also in line with safeguarding, so that I know who's on the VLE, virtual learning environment, and therefore who needs to be taken off in line with GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations, I believe it stands for. Right. Anyway, so here we are. Your password will also be as in your documentation. I will type it in here. Enter or click login. Either way gets you in, and here is what you're faced with. So usually you'll see these tabs lining across here. There's a calendar here which we don't readily use, in fairness, but this is where the resources are kept. So if you're on the GCSE first year, let's pull up and see what you'll have there. I'm going into a slightly different way to yourselves because I am as that bit, I'm not enrolled onto them all. A bit strange. I can access them, but I'm not enrolled. But that's the way it is for this account. So GCSE Astronomy is where we are, and you will see the thumbnails to most of these over here that you have got access to. I'm going to now duplicate that tab because I'm going to be coming to this window quite a fair few times. Maths for GCSE, if you've got access to that, so what we've done is we've canned our Maths for GCSE webinars to make those available. We generally throw those open to those who have paid for that course and those who also may be equally paying for the webinars. I'll get to the webinars in a bit. For you, you've got new students website you should take a look at, and the new GCSE 9 to 1 astronomy students. If you're a bit pushed for time, you should focus on that one. Let's have a look at either. So new students website, let's have a quick click and see what's in that. Again, for you, it would just take you there, but this is what you'll see. So you've got here, you're welcome. You've got the new GCSE Astronomy 9 to 1. I know what I've done here. This is the new students in general. So new students 9 to 1 GCSE Astronomy would focus on this lot here. Space cadets, if you're on here, you'd focus on that part. And if you're doing astrophysics and space science, that is the introduction for those guys. Yes, forgot my own stuff from years ago, but essentially for you, this is just a bit of info. So you probably really are best taking a look at that. And you got the GCSE Astronomy subject outlined there. You've got a note on the format of the classroom to discuss that. But for you moving forward, you probably want to come out of there and go into the new GCSE 9 to 1 students. This tells you about the course before you go into the nitty gritty. Think of it as your induction before you start. So we talk here about what's available. So we've got the Liverpool telescope. We use them for some of our observations, and your course advisor will give you those details after enrolling. So what happens is you enroll, you pay. I then send an introductory email which introduces you to the course advisor, and they will then come back with your login in details. I'm going to say one thing very briefly here because this is my second attempt at recording this. My phone rang last time, delivery. But I'm going to say this now. I neglected to say it last time, actually. It is up to you to stay in touch with your course advisor. They're not going to chase after you. It's up to you to approach them with any questions. It's up to you to approach them if you've got any problems with any worksheets that you might have completed but don't really quite understand, or maybe got something wrong and want clarification. If you're looking over any past exam questions and not so sure on something, it is up to you to approach them. They're not going to chase after you. That's kind of how it works. It's very much a self-paced course. Our course advisors are very conscientious. They'll get back to you. It is email support. It's very unlikely that they'll be able to speak to you on the phone unless by prior arrangement. If you do wish to engage their services as a personal tutor, again, they could charge you for that. But again, that's between you and them. And for what it's worth, we don't take any commission on that. But yeah, observational tasks and everything else, please don't wait for them to get in touch with you. It is for you to get in touch with them. If you have PM'd them a couple of times, not had any answers, then come to me and I will chase up to find out what's going on. info@onlineastronomycourses.co.uk is always the email address to use for anything like that. And also, any access problems, any issues with any of the material not working, I'm the one to come to with any technical support as opposed to them. So here we are. We are in the new students thing coming back. So this tells you about the format of the classroom, GCSE subject outline, the course spec, and also the Pearson's information on the celestial sphere. So it's all worth having a look at this stuff, especially the Pearson's course spec. If I click on that one, this is the course spec. So this contains all the information you need on just about everything for this course. 70 pages, yes, it is a bit of bedtime reading, probably a good cure for insomnia, joke. But seriously, it's worth taking a good look at that document. Everything you need to do well in this course is in that document. Certainly worth taking a look at it. And then going down, we then talk about observational tasks. These I can't emphasize enough. You need to be looking at these sooner rather than later. Do not leave your observational tasks to the last minute. There's only a finite number of dark nights in the year that they usually start from about September onwards. And then you've got darker nights there to carry out any observations. And if you need the sun or the moon, that's around about the best time. Obviously, the summer's going to be best for the sun. But you have got a number of predefined observational tasks you need to carry out. And while that information, that data is not sent off to the examining board per se, examining board being Pearson's at Excel, there is no other board, it's only them. They don't look at and assess your observational tasks. It is just for you, your information. Some exam centres like Tutors and Exams do request sight of it, but usually it is for us to take a look at, sign off. That means you are done, and that means that should be okay for you to then go and sit the exam when the time comes. We generally recommend, if you're doing the course over 2 years, you do two observational tasks just to be on the safe side. If weather's nice in one, you've got the other one to fall back on. Then get those two done. And when you get to the second year, you've done those and only got the second year tasks to worry about. Please do not leave this to the last minute. In fact, I suggest before you get into the meat of the actual course, it should be that you should be taking a look at first and familiarizing yourself with that, because that's going to be humming in the background. While yes, there is academic work to do, you'll need to go through the material for that and Nigel's textbook. But not by and large, the observational tasks will need to be ticking over in the background so that so that you've got them both now when it comes to taking the exam. It's not an either or exercise. You need both. And the observational tasks need to be signed off. And that's why we've got our own material on this, which goes through details of that, and Pearson's own observational skills material as well. There are predefined tasks for you to do. You choose. So you've got unaided and aided. So without a telescope and with a telescope. So you have to take your choice out of those which ones you do, and let your course advisor know that you've gone that way. So that's the important stuff. It says webinars here. I don't believe I put too much in there, but I will say with the webinars, these are an optional extra. In these, we cover 2 webinars a month, one for the first year, one for the second year. But in both cases, what we do is we go over past exam paper questions, looking at how we answer them, and we look at a bit of theory beforehand that helps answer the question. So if you're looking to maximize your results, I believe we charge about £5.50 a month. Don't quote me, but I think we charge that for the first year and a bit more for the second year. Second years are expected to attend both webinars. That's why it's more expensive to them. And also those webinars we do record them, so they're available to anybody who misses them. So usually about the close of play that following Monday. They're held on the penultimate Thursday of the month and the final Thursday of the month, always between 6 and 7, unless advised otherwise. If you are subscribing to those, you'll get an email with an invitation. And we've also got Facebook groups set up purely for those people who are on those webinar groups. So that's what they are. And there's a separate link I won't go into at the moment where you can sign up to those. Those are monthly, and of course there's an additional charge for those outside the online GCSE program that we do offer. So that's the new student thing. Let's have a look at the GCSE first year, which will be the access you'll be given. So we go into that, and you'll see here pretty much straight away we've got some general stuff at the beginning. General study advice, the access to the textbook. So if you haven't got the hard copy of the textbook yet, you can look at the soft copy there in the meantime. But rest assured, Nigel is very good at posting out copies of his books. They usually go up pretty much the following day after he's been paid, and then you should receive the book. But as I say, you don't have to wait for that. It'll be, you can use that soft copy in the meantime. You've got a study planner and progress tracker, which is here. You can download that. This is a Excel spreadsheet, and if you open it, you've got all the weeks in here that you can follow. And essentially, you put the existing date in here, so with the 23rd of September at here. And that automatically populates all the other dates. So what you need to be doing is working through according to these dates. Granted, you might not necessarily complete it in the suggested time. You might complete some sooner. And the later you leave it, there could be some overlap when it comes up to the exam. It'll then be up to you to realise that and understand that you've got to study a bit harder and put in a few more hours. Usually it takes between 2 to 3 hours to complete a topic a week. And what you've got here too is your worksheet score. And you obviously total these up, and this gives you a feel of how well you're doing in the course generally. So if you come down, what we've got, if you look at week 1, the structure of the Earth, WikiLink, but we don't use the wiki anymore. We had a wiki, but nobody was really using it. So that'll that'll be removed out moving forward. But what you need to be looking at is the interactives, so the structure of the Earth, and then you've got a quiz down there. So it's a digital quiz. So you can do the digital quiz, or you can do the download and do the worksheet. They both contain the same questions. It's just because some people prefer one format over the other. If you've got the worksheet you're downloading, then you can use the spreadsheet here to keep record of that. Otherwise, the system should record your progress as you go there. The worksheet, you can download a copy of that and you click on it, and it's a Word document, and double click here opens it up. And as you can see here, you've got your questions. So you'd probably print it off, and then your answers at the end. We don't need these back, but if at the end of the day there's anything you're not so sure on, anything that's puzzled you, then that's what your course advisor's for. So sorry, I thought that the inner core was the thinnest part of the Earth. I don't understand that part. I know. You'll email that to your course advisor, and they'll come back with any problems. They'll come back with any solutions for you and guide you. And at the end of that, you've got the answers. So it really is a self-marking, self-leading course, I'm afraid. There's not too much hand-holding in this course. It is all at your own pace. Access remains until generally the end of June after the second paper of the following year, if you signed up the year before. And then obviously, clearly, you then pay for the second year of the course after that. So essentially, that's what you've got. And you work all the way down there. And then when you've finished, looks like a lot, I suppose it is, but then when you get going, you'll complete it. And then you've got the link here to go on to GCSE Year 2. And in your case, that'll be when you would, if you wish to stay with us and get access to the second year's resources, that's when you'd pay the balance of the £310 or £155. That's when you'll be added on to those resources. So I hope that all that's been informative for you and explained a bit more about how we work. And any questions about this, please just email info@onlineastronomycourses.co.uk, and I'll be happy to pick up any further questions that you might have on that. Otherwise, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for signing up with us, and I hope you find the course informative, and we look forward to completing your journey onto your GCSE Astronomy qualification together. Once again, thank you and good luck.